guys, so today I'm going to do a dupes video. Unlike the one that I already did where I just kind of talk about dupes, I'm going to be putting the dupes to the test on my face. So on one side I'm going to do completely high-end products, and then on the other side I'm going to do affordable and cruelty-free products. So this is both a dupe for cruelty-free versus not cruelty-free, but also inexpensive versus expensive. So if you guys want to see which side of my face is high-end and which side is drugstore and cruelty-free, then just keep watching. Okay guys, let's get started. So first thing, obviously, I'm going to start with foundation. And today we're going to do full coverage foundation. So the two that I chose, on this side I'm going to do my Tarte Amazonian Clay, and on this side I'm going to do my e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, and this is in the shade Porcelain. I actually prefer, I think, the e.l.f. just because it's a little bit less dry, because this one is really kind of dry and like not cakey, but like almost cakey. While it does have a really good full coverage and does have really good ingredients, Tarte is known for that. And there might be a little bit of color variation, but I know both of these run decently yellow, so that's at least nice. I'm gonna go ahead and use a different brush. They both built up about the exact same amount, and they both, like, it was just as quick on both sides. And honestly, you can't, this side is a little bit brighter and more yellow, and this side's a little bit closer to like my actual skin tone, but once we have powder on, you won't be able to tell. Okay, for concealer, on this side I'm going to be using my MAC Pro Longwear. This is so old. I just keep it to use it up because I spent 20 bucks on it. But anyways, I'm going to use this on the high-end side, and I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Come Correct Celebrity Concealer on the other side. They're both really brightening, really full coverage. The Celebrity Concealer is a little bit thicker and a little bit cakier, but they're awesome. I love this concealer so much, and I used to love this one. Is MAC Pro Longwear. Like, that much concealer is way too much, actually. I put way too much on. Oh no. Honestly, if I was watching this blindly, I would think that this side is the high-end side just based off of that concealer, because it is so much brighter and so much more like full coverage than the MAC. I mean, the MAC I can still kind of see my darkness. This one I can't. Okay, and then I'm going to set my under eyes. For the high-end side, I'm going to use my, I should use it over here. For the high-end side, I'm going to use my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to use this color for right underneath my eyes and this color on my cheek area. For the drugstore side, I'm going to take my NYX Pro Contour Palette, and again, I'm going to take the cream side right underneath my eyes and the more yellow side for the rest of my under eye area. I love both of these powders. I will say that the yellow in the NYX one isn't as wearable for fair skin like me, just because it is a lot stronger of a yellow. But other than that, I really like both of these a lot. I mean, you guys know I used to use this contour palette all the freaking time. Okay, and I don't have any high-end setting powders because you guys know I swear by this, so I'm just gonna set my face real quick and then we'll move on to contour and blush and highlight. Okay, our face is all set, and honestly, I'm so impressed by like how you can't tell that you can't tell at all. Anyways, let's move on to eyes before blush and contour and all that. Anyways, let's go. Okay, for the high-end side, I'm gonna use my Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is in the old bottle, but it's essentially the same stuff. I'm just gonna spread that out and set it. And I'm just setting that with whatever is left on my shadow brush, or on my setting brush, just because that's what I always do. And then of course for the drugstore side, I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild Fergie Primer. These literally look and feel identical, it's insane. For eyes, I want to do kind of a simple, dark, smoky eye. So for the high-end side, I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. And then for my affordable side, I'm going to be using two palettes. This one is the Au Naturale palette from Wet n Wild. This is in Nude Awakening. I'm going to be using the Mad for Matte palette from e.l.f. for the affordable side. So first, I'm going to take this color from the Kat Von D palette, and I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush and use that as a transition color all over my crease. Okay, and then for the high-end side, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette, and I'm going to take that color right there and I'm just going to do the same thing. How insane is that pigmentation? This palette is $10. It's insane. Okay, for the next color, I'm gonna take this middle kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a cool tone, like gray-brown color from the Kat Von D palette. And I'm just gonna take this on this Morphe M514. We're just gonna work this right in that outer corner and then start working it into the crease as well. And I'm really gonna bring this in like halfway into my lid. Okay, then I'm just gonna clean that brush real quick with my e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. And then I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild palette and I'm gonna take this second color from the bottom. I swatched these next to each other and literally, you guys, they're almost identical. It's insane. Which I thought was cool because I thought this color in the Kat Von D palette was really unique, so. You guys look at that. They look identical. I'm so stoked. I love how I'm like surprising myself with my own favorite products. Like I know all of these products are great, but like you don't really realize just how like really good they are compared to high-end makeup. I mean, of course you can't always compare like ingredients and stuff like that, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my favorite black, which is the black from the Kat Von D palette, obviously. I'm gonna take that on an angled shadow brush, and I'm just gonna work this back and forth right on my lid, or on this like outer corner of my lid. Just work it back and forth. I'm gonna kind of drag it out to make it kind of a cat eye shape. And bring it in. And I'll go back to more of that kind of dark gray brown color. Just blend more. Love that black because it's so effortless and blends so nicely. See how the Wet n Wild does. I'm gonna again clean my brush. I'm gonna take the black from this palette. I've used it before and I know it's a lot more pigmented than the one in the e.l.f. palette. So I'm just going to stamp it on. And start dragging into the crease. Then again, going back with that gray brown this time from the Wet n Wild palette, obviously. I'm just gonna go right on top of that black and just blend even more. It's insane, you guys. This is absolutely stupid how good this is. And there's hardly any fallout on both sides, which is always nice. Okay, then I'm gonna take this yellowy highlight shade and I'm just gonna pack that on my lid. I'll just take my brush and just blend the edges a little bit so there's no harsh edges. Then for my lid on the affordable side, I'm going to use Makeup Geek's Mirage Shadow, which is one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. I think it's my favorite highlight color ever. And this one I actually prefer, I prefer this one. Look how much more pigmented and buttery that one is compared to the Kat Von D one. And don't get me wrong, you guys, I love Kat Von D. You guys know I love her products, but sometimes you just can't afford it. I'm just packing more of the yellow shade from the Kat Von D just to kind of balance it because this one is like so insanely bright. And I don't have any additional product on this brush. I'm literally just using it to blend the edges. I'm gonna highlight my brow bone with that same color from each respective palette. So this one's Kat Von D, and this one is Makeup Geek. I'm gonna hit pan on that thing so freaking quick, it's not even funny. Okay, for my eyebrows, this is my favorite finding ever. On the high end side, I'm gonna use my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in Granite, and on the affordable side, I'm gonna use my Makeup Geek Gel Liner in Immortal. I love this way, way, way more than Anastasia because it does not dry out. You know how when you first get the Dipbrow Pomade and it's really, really kind of slick and like jelly and your brush just kind of dips into it like butter, but then after you use it for like a couple months, it starts to kind of like shrivel up and get a little bit dry. This stuff does not do that at all. I've had it for, God, since around Christmas when Makeup Geek sent me their entire line, so I've had it for what, 5 months now, and it has not dried out at all. I love it so much. I'm actually dreading using the pomade because it's just a lot Like now that I've like been used to using the gel liner, this stuff is just a lot drier and just harder to work with, honestly. Okay, so that's the Anastasia brow. I'm gonna clean my brush once more. By the way, this is the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner, and I love it like in between colors or to clean up my brow brush every day before I do my brows. It's awesome. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the Makeup Geek gel liner. Obviously, this color is a lot more intense because it's a black liner, so you guys might see that as a difference. But I don't mind intense black brows, as you guys probably know. Geek brow. Before we finish off eyes, let's move on to the face. So for the high-end contour side, I'm gonna use my Shade and Light palette, obviously. So I'm gonna really carve out my cheeks with the cool one and then slightly warm up my cheeks with the warmer shade. So for the high-end side, I'm gonna use my Morphe M405, and then for the drugstore side, I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild angled shadow brush because these are, or angled face brush, because these are also synthetic, cruelty-free dupes of each other. So right now I'm using the coolest shade from the Kat Von D palette. And even the coolest shade is still pretty dang warm. Then this is the warm shade. Obviously warm up my skin and give it a little bit of a bronzy glow. Okay, and then on the drugstore side, you guys already know I'm gonna use my Makeup Geek contours. So the cool contour in the Makeup Geek contours is a lot more cool toned than the Shade and Light one, but the warm contour is almost a dead on dupe for the middle color in the Shade and Light palette. So you guys will probably notice a little bit of a difference because this cool contour is so much more cool toned than the one in the Kat Von D palette, but I love it. Okay, so blush was kind of a weird one. Pretty much the only high-end blushes I have are my MAC blushes from when I was not cruelty-free yet. So I still have them because they're just sitting in my collection and I haven't found somebody to give them to, and I'm still kind of using them up. But one of my favorite blushes from MAC was Margin by MAC, obviously, which is also a super, super popular shade. So I wanted to find you guys a dupe for this, and I kind of did in a way. So if you use a light hand with Margin, the dupe of it is the Wet n Wild blush in Rose Champagne. This is a lot less pink, but it still gives you that peachy golden effect. So with a light hand, these are dupes of each other. Or with a super, super heavy hand, like if you really want that peach tone that Margin gives you, use the Makeup Geek blush in Romance. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but they are so similar and will give you almost the exact same effect. So, as you guys probably know, I don't like intense pinky blushes, so I'm going to use a light hand. So this side is MAC's Margin. Wipe off my brush a little bit. And then on this side, it's Rose Champagne. I wish you guys were here in person to see just how like dead on these dupes are. I'm so happy about how this is turning out. Okay guys, and then highlight dupes. I'm so excited about this. So I found a almost perfect dupe for Champagne Pop by Becca and Jaclyn Hill. Now you guys know I freaking love Jaclyn Hill, but sometimes you can't spend almost $40 on one highlighter. I'm sorry Jaclyn, but I mean she'll understand. She'll totally understand. So on the high end side, I'm going to apply some Champagne Pop. Okay, my camera overheated, so I don't know what it caught, but on the high-end side, I used Champagne Pop by Becca and Jaclyn Hill. And then on the other side, I found a dupe for it, and it is in the NYX Strobe of Genius palette, and it is this shade right here. I swear to God, they are sister highlights. They're so similar. So I cleaned off my brush, and yes. You guys see that? It's insane. I'm just gonna use this one to highlight my nose and Cupid's bow because you can't really split that. Oh, and I totally forgot, I totally like neglected my lower lash line. So I'm just gonna take the kind of like grayish browns from each of the palettes, and I'm just gonna use that to kind of smudge on my lower lash line. So this one is from the Wet n Wild palette. I'm just gonna take that on my lower lash line and look like I'm being possessed for a second. Wipe off my brush and do the same with the dupe shadow from the Kat Von D palette. I don't really need this to be neat, I just need something on my lower lash line. Okay guys, so that is it for the eyes. I actually don't have any high-end liquid liners or pencil liners, like literally zero. I have found so many good ones at the drugstore that I don't feel the need to buy like a $20 eyeliner. So I'm just gonna use my NYX matte liquid liner with my NYX Très Jolie on the waterline. I'm just gonna go do that real quick off camera. Okay, and liner and lashes are on, so we're gonna move on to lips. For lips, these are two of my favorite lipsticks ever, and of course they're dupes of each other because this is like my favorite color. This is MAC's Viva La Glam 2, which you guys have, if you guys have been on my channel for a while, you guys know this used to be my favorite lipstick of all time before I went cruelty free. And the dupe that I found of it is Oh Snap by Colourpop. These are literally almost, I think, identical, pretty much identical. The only thing is Oh Snap is a little bit more glossy, but that's pretty much it. This is just a perfect kind of like My Lips But Better sort of shade. So that was the MAC side, and this is Colourpop. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of gloss to each side. For the expensive side, I'm going to add the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in Undressed, and this one is a perfect dupe of this. Not color-wise, but formula-wise, they're identical. These are the NYX Xtreme Shine lip creams, which people don't really talk about these that much. They talk about the butter glosses a ton, but I think these are better than the butter glosses because they're more opaque and they aren't as sticky as the intense butter glosses, so that's why I like them more. The only thing is this specific color is a little bit more pink and this one is just a little bit more like peachy nude color, but I'm just gonna add a little bit to each side. Just kind of to the middle and get it all over my teeth. And I know that Anastasia has a lip gloss that is more pink. I know because when I was buying this one, I swatched the NYX one next to, I was either going to get one of two nude Anastasia lip glosses, and this was the one that wasn't identical to this one because I didn't want to buy one that was already identical to one I already had. So I know there is one that is more pink. I'll leave the name of it down below because I don't know what it is. Okay guys, and that completes this half drugstore, half high-end makeup look. I had so much fun filming this, and I actually surprised myself with how well these dupes did. So leave me your favorite dupe. If you guys have found any dupes, leave them down below so we can have a giant pool of dupes. And please give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful, you enjoyed it, whatever, and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next video.